The broad categories of basic vocabulary.
Concerning language, one of the main techniques used to learn or to acquire a language is teaching vocabulary. So, to be proficient with the language, this vocabulary has to be part of the most frequent words used within the language to create communicative competence. For instance, in English, the most frequent words are part of the 2000 word list, which is commonly used by native speakers.
The following video will explain the categories of basic vocabulary, which are part of the most frequent words in English, including modal items, stance words, discourse markers, and basic adjectives that are used to convey specific functions based on examples from corpus data. The first category is modal items.
The modal items are those which convey meaning referring to the degree of certainty or necessity, and some of the most frequent words used to infer such meanings are modal verbs. Modal verbs are used to talk about ability, ask permission, and make requests and offers. For example, with the verb can, we show ability as in this sentence.
I can swim, showing that the person has the ability to perform that activity.
The next modal verb is may. This verb is used to express permission as in the following sentence.
May I come in, sir? In this sentence, the speaker is making a request to do something.
Another modal verb is could. This is used to express a possibility or a request as in the next example.
Could I have some tea, please? We can see that the speaker is requesting for some tea.
The next category is stance words.
The function of stance words is to represent speakers' and writers' attitude and position toward the content communicated. These are central to communicate and to create and maintain appropriate social relations. Also, stance words can be used to soften or make indirect utterance. For example, actually is used to emphasize something that someone has said or done is surprising.
For example, although the court thought the woman asked for dinner, what she actually wanted was diners.
Whatever is another word used either to dismiss a previous statement and express indifference or in affirmation of a previous statement.
For example, our intent was to gather students' preparation levels after the competition, including any preparation done before the competition, along with whatever the student learned during the preparation for the CDC.
Just is most often used to express that something has recently happened.
For example, Sue, it's Bob here. I'm just ringing up to inquire whether there was any more definite news.
Another category is discourse markers.
Discourse markers are word phrases that function to establish a relationship between speakers in a conversation. They also serve as a communicative function used by a speaker to comment on the status of understanding information that is expressed. Some of the most frequent discourse markers are you know, which is a word or phrase used when the speaker doesn't quite know what they are going to say next. So they insert their filler word or phrase while they compose their next spoken line, as in the following sentence.
But what about when you said that I had to eat healthy because you didn't want your memory erased? I think there's something more going on in that nugget of yours.
Another one is I mean. It is used to emphasize a statement. For example,
It's pretty sweet, he said. The food's pretty good too. I mean, it's not like we don't have good food in Czech Republic.
the last one of discourse markers is I was like. This is used to express a past attitude or action. For example,
And I was like, yeah, and he was like, just do that.
the last category is basic adjectives.
Basic adjectives appear in everyday communication, being negative or positive, evaluating people, situations, events, and things. For instance, the adjective lovely, which is used to evaluate a person, as in the next example.
I'm sure your dad, who died 11 years ago, was a lovely man. but your mom is allowed to date other men.
Another adjective is awful, which is being used to describe an event as in the example.
The three Republicans who voted no heroes, it was obviously stupid and awful.
The last adjective is excellent. It is used to evaluate a thing, in this case a day.
An excellent day for a hike in Sabino Canyon north of Tucson, Arizona. In conclusion, we have seen how using the broad categories of basic vocabularies, which are part of the most frequent words in English, is important to acquire a language due to their degree of frequency and the different functions that they possess.
Also, using these categories not only can help in the acquisition of language, but in learning English as a second language. Implementing this vocabulary for second language learners can help them to understand the language and to create a communicative competence with the language by using them the words that are more often used by native speakers. Further, using Corpus can help teachers and students knowing how frequent the words are in order to make them be more proficient and competent with the language.
Thank you for your attention.